Hey.
I wanted to ask you about your relationship with Dricus, because if we look at the timeline, he said some stuff at the press conference. You tried to bite him. You DM'd him and said, I'm going to you. And then
No, I didn't DM him and say I'm going to stab him. I didn't DM him and say I'm going to stab him. I DM'd him and said, Dricus, whatever the fuck his name is, I like you. You're a stand-up guy. You fight hard, you know. Yeah, you might be occupying a country, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. They're slowly taking that one back. Sorry, South Africans. But should I talk about this? Getting along the woods. No, I just simply said, man, that, like, you know, that's a line that you probably, you know, I prefer that we didn't go there. And you guys, I on everybody. I mean, I make fun of your little pirate earring. I guess I say, right? That's different. Is that more on the
I say it's on the cusp.
The cusp, yeah. So I can make fun of your little pirate ear, but so I go hard, man. I made fun of Sean O'Malley's wife, you know, getting by his buddy. I made fun of the Cucky and Gary, you know, and like, but the difference is, and I was just telling DC this, like, dude, you went on a podcast and you joked about calling a homie to fuck your wife. Like, I didn't go like, you know, I didn't go make fun of anything that you didn't joke about. Like, you made fun of, like, this isn't traumatic for you. You just said, hey, man, I wanted my buddy to fuck my wife. You know, I wanted to throw her some D. And again, I'm not even hating on that. Or like the Cucky and Gary. I didn't go out and say, you know, hey, I made up the definition of wag. You're a wag. You went out there and you put your wife front and center. You put her front and center. You made her design a shirt. You made her hold the baby while you wear it, laugh it. You put her front and center. You are a cuck, you know? So it's like, I go hard on everybody. Sometimes it gets on me. I'm fully aware of that, but it is what it is, man.
And I know you've been asked ad nauseum about, you know, all the comments made at the press conference and the fight and everything like that. And when we spoke, you know, last week, you kind of said, I'm too smart to go down that road. I have other things I can do to poke and prod at Sean. But he was very explicit, I think, earlier this week in interviews saying that, you know, he's going to stab you if you bring that up. He's going to have a knife. Did you see those comments? And I guess, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know, guys. That's pretty intense, right? I think that is. I don't know the legislation around here, but that seems like, you know, Team Strickland needs to step in and check their boy. But I think when this whole thing occurred, where he said, "Listen, if you did it again," he said he'll kill me. He didn't say stab me. When he said kill, I said, "Okay, you're probably gonna shoot me then." But when I saw a knife, I'm like, "No, that's not gonna work. You won't touch me with that knife. I'll knock you out way before you get to stab me."
Does any part of you in the back of your mind when you engage with him this week, like, keep those comments in mind, or are you just going to be yourself and say whatever you need to say?
No. You know, am I scared that he self-sabotages this fight? Sure. That is something I've thought about. You know, maybe, you know, trying everything to get out of it. But no. For me right now, the last press conference was winning on the mic. That was winning Sean Strickland at his own game. Right now, this week where we're at, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to be the middleweight champion of the world. My focus is on fighting and you know, not making jokes, getting the crowds to laugh. And, you know, no, that's not why I'm here. I'm here. I've already won that battle. That battle is won. Right now, the battle needs to be won is the one coming Saturday night, and that's where my mind's at. My mind is at being ready mentally, physically, and being in the best shape of my life.
When we look at Dricus as a fighter, right, he's been described as awkward as a view sometimes, but he's clearly a strong, physical guy in there. When you look at him and you look at it from a fighting perspective, where is he going to cause you the most problems?
Yeah, you know, I think it's going to be a harder fight than Izzy. You know, to Izzy, it's going to be like, the thing about Dricus is, dude, he just likes to fight. You know, it's like, is he the best? Nah, probably not. But, like, he goes in there and he just fights to win. You know, that's a hard fight, man. I've trained with a lot of guys I'm way better than, and they just mentally want to be there, and that makes it a tough fight. But I'm better than him. I'm a better grappler. I'm better jiu-jitsu. I mean, your accolades are, what is his accolades? He beat a dead horse, Derek Brunson. I mean, it's even in the UFC. Yeah, I mean, they cut him after that. That performance was so terrible. Like, Derek Brunson, yeah, like, I think he might have died on the stool, dude. Like, We need to bring back TRT, man. Thank God you saw this gone. You know, maybe we could bring back Derek Brunson. But like, I mean, come on now. And then you go fight Whitaker, and Whitaker was a great fight, but it's like, I mean, was that the Whitaker we've ever seen? Whitaker quit, you know? Or maybe he's just that good, but I just think he fought 2 dead horses. Put him out to pasture.
Come Saturday night.
And just last thing for me, speaking of, kind of the win pre-fight, his coach even said that he was triggered and he had to have a conversation with Sean about not fighting emotionally, saying that's not who we are and stuff. Once the fight begins, though, I mean, what are you expecting from him? Do you think that's going to get lost and an emotional side of him will come out?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot for a team to admit something like this. You have to take that. And if it was a real problem, I don't think they would have. But I do think he has the right people around him. They are an extremely good team. They've showed that over the last year. They've had an incredible year with the coach and the team, and with all the awards, and deservingly so. But I think he has the right people around him to get him to get him back to where he needs to be, because we saw that he was definitely not in a good space of mind during that presser at the end. He was genuinely triggered, and obviously at the event where he jumped over chairs. And anybody who thinks that was fake or staged, I wasn't informed of that because I took some real punches. But for me, that was a big win. But I do think he has the right people, and I hope for his sake he has the right people around him to get him back to where he needs to be. Because if you're going to fight that way, it's going to be disappointing for a lot of people.
Last one for me. You kind of made it clear that you're happy with the money, but you're not necessarily like, oh, I'm the champion of the world, and you take value in that. What do you want your title reign to look like, right? You can fight the next guy, or you have people like Ian Gary saying he's going to come up and fight you, or Colby wants to fight you. So would you try and pick these money fights, or do you want to just make yourself known as the champion who fought everyone?
Dude, I don't give a about this belt. Like, this is the Matrix, man. You guys understand, like, I like you guys. You guys are all good people, but, what? I lose this fight, I go back to the Apex, and we do our little song and dance for a couple more years, and I vanish. Like, this is all bullshit. I love the UFC. They give me lots of money. I'm happy, but, like, this is we all know what I am. We all know what we are. Dricus might wear a suit, and he might say that I'm the champion, I'm soft, but you are you take your clothes off. Somebody says, I'm going to give you this much money to try to kill a man. And I don't know. How do I forget that? Do I just make believe? Do I just pretend I'm like a LeBron James flying around in a private jet? No, motherfucker. No, that ain't gonna happen. What, you think do you think I can retire now? You think I got enough money to retire now? I'm a champion of the world. You think I have enough money to retire now? No, I'm gonna be working my ass a job if I were to leave. Champion of the world means jack shit. So as far as a belt goes, favorite quote: they'll fight for 10 in a ribbon, giving 10 in a ribbon. We're just a bunch of fucking assholes trying to get a check.
You said that the press conference you won on the mic, but do you regret making comments about somebody's abusive background? Is that something that you think should be discussed?
Well, he discussed it. So, if you're gonna go out there and say, "Hey kids, you need to be abused more. Hey kids, you need drunken rage, abused beatings by your parents, like I got when I grew up," then that's you putting it out there. That's you joking about it. I wasn't joking about it. I am going to beat the shit out of Sean Strickland. That wasn't a joke. So he made those comments. He made it public, and he was making a joke of it, not me. Do I think it's good? No, it's terrible what happened to him. It's terrible what happened to him, but now he felt. I was completely respectful towards Sean Strickland that whole press conference, and you can go watch it back, and you'll see. Even when he threw a couple of jabs, I just let it slide, and then when he tried to get the crowd up and going, the only way he knows how to by saying offensive stuff and being outrageous and just screaming over everybody, and he tried to bully me, and I wasn't going to let that slide, and that's what he did. That's what when he saw he couldn't get the crowd behind him like he usually does, in terms of being funny, because we were respectful towards each other, he tried to be disrespectful, and I showed him what it feels like if you get some of your own medicine. So I was 100%. I do respect him a lot, but I'm not going to let you bully me, not at all.
They just posted the most recent episode of UFC Embedded, and it showed a little exchange with you and Dricus in the lobby. It seems like you guys were fairly friendly. What's your thoughts on him, like right now on fight week after all these interactions 3 days away?
Man, it's not like you don't go in there like even when I fought Izzy, you don't go in there like you think I'm laying in bed at night beating off my. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you. No, that's not what it is, dude. This is my job. My job is to fight you for 5 rounds to try to put you away. And that's all it is. And that's Dricus. We don't go in there angry. Like, we're at this fucking level, you guys. You think a NASCAR racer is fucking driving the circle. Like, I'm going to fucking drive hard in the circle. Like, no, you just detach and you do fucking work.
Are you concerned that he's basically going to feel the pressure after those remarks and that he might feel like he's going to lose this and he can't go out there and lose face? Is that why you think he might self-sabotage?
Yeah, I don't know what it might be. I think, for a guy with the kind of demons that Sean Strickland's fighting, one can only think, and I'm not in this situation, so I can't say, but self-sabotage in a sense where he does not care what happens to him because he wants to do what he feels is necessary because that will make him a real man. No, what makes you a real man is being an example. And yeah, I mean, like I always say, being a champion, being in the limelight, you should be yourself. I'm being myself, and I'm not always the best example. Make no mistake, especially with all the cameras on, everywhere you go. It's great, it's cool, but the more I look at a guy like Conor, he gets seen doing so many wrong things, but it's just because everything he does is filmed. I feel sorry for the guy because most of us do a lot of things that are not wrong, especially when you're out partying. You're not really considering being an example to kids when you're out partying. You're in a place. That's why there's an age restriction. And then you get filmed and it gets put all over the internet and people judge you for it. I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say. And, I mean, just live your life. Don't care about it, and whenever you can, try and be a good person wherever you can. But, I mean, if you make mistakes, we move on from them. So, with this whole thing with him self-sabotaging, I think... I think it might be that to prove a point, and the fight is the only thing that's important to me. So what I'm saying with self-sabotage is I also like fast cars. I like adrenaline. I'm a crazy person. I'm an adrenaline junkie. But when my fight camp starts, there's a priority. There's things that needs to happen for me to do my job, and it feels like that one aspect of him doesn't care. And then, of course, the fight that happened in the crowd, that was the biggest concern for me of that whole situation, is the fact that the fight could be in jeopardy, and I'm really happy it wasn't.
Yeah, going back to that brawl, obviously it's like a little skirmish, 30 seconds maybe, but is there anything you could take away from that physical interaction with him?
Yeah, the man's not scared to throw down, firstly, and he could feel the strength. Now he knows. He had those scrawny hips.